Hi everyone and welcome for this astrology video on the new moon of June 28, 29, depending on where we are. Actually on planet Earth, this new moon could happen on the evening of June 28th or in the morning of June 29th. So in this new moon, there's two planets that are having really important transits. Aspects in fact. So those two planets are in Aries, Mars and Jupiter. Both have one square and one sextile. And both of those planets just happened to be in conjunction with Neptune a few weeks ago. So it's very interesting to see that at this new moon, 28-29, so it's the first new or full moon following this summer solstice, and that means that that new moon is totally connected with that summer solstice. It's very in line with it. And when there's a summer solstice, the sun is entering the sign of Cancer all the time. That's a signature of a summer solstice, astrologically speaking. So it's very interesting to see that at the moment of this new moon, right after summer solstice, energies in Aries are starting to be dominant, to be the main energy happening. While as before that, when we had the March equinox, so the spring equinox, well, we had something very different. Usually, well, every single time, a spring equinox is the moment where the sun is entering the sign of Aries. And usually there's lots of Aries energy present. This time, there was so much happening, going on, being prepared in Pisces, that the energy remained in Pisces for the entire first quarter of the, let's say, of an astrologic year, which starts with the March equinox, when the sun enters Aries, because Aries is the first sign of the Zodiac. So when the sun enters Aries, we could say it's the beginning of an astrological year. So let's say during the passage of the sun in Aries, Taurus, and Gemini, well, the main focus was actually remaining in Pisces, because there was those amazing conjunction. The main one was Jupiter and Neptune in conjunction in Pisces, but there was also Venus passing by, Mars passing by. So really the focus was there in preparing those great conjunction and going through them. Now, when it's finally summer solstice, the sign of Aries is suddenly awakening. So there's there's a great strong connection between Aries and Cancer. And the square of Jupiter and Aries and the new moon itself, which is a conjunction of sun and moon, there's also Lilith right there, the black moon. So there's a square between Jupiter and this conjunction of sun, moon, and Lilith. So that square is actually showing us this connection very, very clearly between Aries and Cancer. What is this connection? Well, at least things are moving forward, just like we usually feel in spring. Life is just starting to sprout and everything. Well, that happens really late this year. It's at this new moon of June 28, 29. There's a connection there. It's a mystery. It means we've been waiting for about a quarter of a year, astrologically speaking. We could even say half a year if we use the year that starts in January, the usual one, let's say. Then it means, it started in January and then in June. It's a half year right there that went by, and all of a sudden, finally, the sign of Aries is awakening. It means we've been waiting for a quarter or half a year symbolically. A quarter of a year also is a symbol of a quarter of a life. It means we've been waiting for a really long time for those energy to finally move forward. So if you've been waiting for things that you really want, you think you deserve, you think you're due to get there, due to live this, or you really want something, you wish it so strong, and it never really happened yet, and you feel you've been expecting this or waiting for this for a really long time, or preparing also those conditions to make this happen. Well, if this is the case, think about it. For this new moon, it's finally moving forward. And this Jupiter in square with the new moon itself, sun and moon conjunction, that square is showing us that Jupiter is finally making things move forward. And Jupiter is a real leader. It could be represented as a king, for example. And when he's in Aries, there's nothing that will stop him. He's strong, he's connected, he's just move ahead and he walks, and he can go even faster than walking. He's just moving ahead and leading the way, showing everyone, yes, things will be happening now. So that's for this square. And the sextile of Jupiter is with Venus in Gemini. So that gives something sweet. That gives it, something very pleasant. It means that what is moving forward, some of those things will be very, very pleasant. So some things we've been expecting for a really long time will finally start moving forward. Now, if we look at Mars in Aries, the other planet that is expected with both a square and a sextile. For Mars, the square is happening with Pluto in Capricorn, and the sextile with Saturn in Aquarius. So the square itself with Pluto and the sextile as well, they both have the same type of meaning. It shows Mars will be inspected. Mars is our will. Mars is our strength. Mars is the thing within ourselves that makes a difference. When we say, I make a difference because I'm different, I bring something up that is different. Our Mars is exactly that. It's our will, it's our specific energy that we bring forward, and we allow things to change according to our own essence, let's say. So Mars is that specific will, it's that strength. Now, Mars is with Jupiter in Aries, and he should be involved within the topics that Jupiter will finally lead forward. A little bit like if Mars would be not necessarily the soldier or the citizen of Jupiter as the king, but something similar to that. So the question is, are we in line already with those things that we've been expected for so long, that we really wanted, we wish for so long? Are we in line, attuned with those, in order so that when Jupiter finally leads the way forward, he counts on us right away, straight from the beginning, and then we feel part of it right away. We feel we were at the right place at the right time. Things are starting, the things we wanted for a long time, we wished for so long, and finally it's happening. Or maybe we were a little bit cautious. Maybe we didn't dare putting our energies there. Maybe we didn't dare investing into what is really beautiful, into what we really want. Maybe we thought, we have to take precautions. I won't dare do this. I won't dare to get involved into this. I won't dare to really commit into something that would really make a difference in this world. Maybe that's how we thought. And if it's the case, well, we'll go through that square with Pluto, meaning it means that we're actually engaged, we're committed with topics, with things, with dynamics in our life that are getting old. A little bit like food in our fridge, Yeah, that's exactly like that, You buy, I don't know, fruits, vegetables, they're in the fridge, you eat some, and if you don't think about them for a while, if you go, I don't know, on a trip and you come back and you don't take care of those, and you didn't give them away for a while, well, you'll come back and they'll be there waiting, and they won't be very nice anymore. They won't look nice at all. And that's exactly the case with those commitments that we have that were seen as being safe, as being the reasonable choice to make, right? For most people. And as long as things didn't take off and really start happening for the wonderful things that we really wish for, well, the reasonable choice was the right one, was the good one, right? Because, well, we are in a good situation because we, maybe we didn't live up to our dreams necessarily, but we have liberty to do things, we have some freedom, we have, the necessary things, we have them all, and we still live a really nice life, right? But now things will be changing. Things we've been expecting for about, we could actually say, a quarter of our own life. We've been expecting those things. Now they'll be starting to happen. Jupiter will be leading the way. Are we committed with those things? Are we aligned with those? Is our Mars, so our strength, our essence, our own commitment, our willpower, is it already involved, or is it actually involved into other things that will start being a bit looking old, when the new things will start sprouting all over the place? That's a little bit what is happening in Aries. So wonderful for the ones that are already committed with their greater vision, with what they really wish for, and they actually did dare to choose original ways of living that they wish will make the earth a better place. Well, if they're already committed to this, and in as many layers in our life as we could. Some people think, oh, I'm committed, I don't know, I'm really reading this book. And for that person, that's the commitment. For some other person, commitment will be very different. It means all my time and my money I invest into that cause. Everything. It's a different type of commitments. So you see, we have to look at all different levels of commitment there are within our own life and start evaluating, what is my Mars actually doing at that level? Is it committed in what I really wish for, what I've been waiting for so long? Or is it taking a more conservative path, And that's the big question for this new moon, because Mars and Jupiter, they can make things happen very fast in a very strong way. And as I said, this connection between Cancer, so Summer Solstice, and equinox of March, spring equinox, that connection, that square between Jupiter and that new moon is telling us a lot. It means all of a sudden something we've been waiting for will be connected to, there will be juice, like energy flowing through it, and it will be possible. So maybe that sounds like a big dream, and you can think that if you prefer to keep investing the Mars where it's more maybe comfortable for the moment, but that is for the moment. Think about it. In just a few years, what seems to be conservative today won't be anymore. Look at how fast the pace of things are changing. Look at that pace and you'll figure it out really quickly. This conservative aspect in life will change. It will evolve. And there is a specific timing because of that connection between Aries and Cancer that is showing us that very, very clearly. So I hope that inspires you to move forward, be ready for that big leap, jump in the future. And I hope you the best with this work. Thank you very much for listening, and see you another time for another astrology video.